Hi, I'm Mark. This is Mark's Tech Vlogs on YouTube, and today I want to tell you how I built a streamer to play my vinyl through my HomePods. Now, I love music, and actually over the last few years, I found myself buying more and more vinyl. And for me, I think there's something about actually being able to listen to an album in its entirety in a very intentional way. When you sit down and put a record on, you're sitting down and doing that because you want to listen to that album. And as someone who also writes and records their own music, when you put together an album, you do think about the order. So there's this sense at which listening to a record on vinyl is a little bit like the artist intended. And I appreciate that sounds incredibly pretentious, but it's not the point of this video. The point of this video is a few weeks ago, I found myself wondering if it was possible to take the audio coming out of my record player and play it through my HomePods. That led me down a massive rabbit hole, and that's why I'm making this video. Because as far as I can see from research, there's basically only one product on the market that actually does that. And that is the A2D2 streamer. Now, I've not tried that device, although I'm hoping to in the future, and if you do want one, it'll cost you about £170. However, I had a Raspberry Pi lying around, and so I wondered if I could create something myself. And as someone who writes code for a living, I thought it'd be a really fun challenge, and so with a little bit of help from AI, I've managed to create it, and I'm going to share that with you guys in this video. And I want to start by showing you the end product, so this is what you're going to end up with. So you're going to have a little web interface that you can go onto, and it'll scan your network for any HomePod devices, or rather any devices you can send AirPlay signals to. You can then click one and start the stream. Then you can start playing your record. Now in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how I achieved what you just saw. And I won't get a copyright strike because that's my own music. I'll link it below if you want to check it out. And I've actually took it a little bit further than even just being able to select a device to stream it to. I've automated that. So I've got a contact sensor on my record player lid. When contact is broken, it switches on the power to the record player. In addition to that, the code that I'm going to show you in this video has got a little API built in. That means Home Assistant can say, right, stream to this particular speaker for me. And my record player is in my living room, so I send it straight to my living room HomePod. If I want to change that, I can go into the interface, or I can use a Siri shortcut to send it to a different speaker. So I'll show you how to do that as well. Now I'm going to talk about the more techie parts in this video, but not how the code works because I've done most of the heavy lifting for you. However, this isn't a plug and play solution. It will require a little bit of technical knowledge and probably a bit of patience. If you get stuck with any of it and you want some help, pop a comment below and I'll try and help you out. But let's start with equipment. So firstly, your record player ideally needs a preamp and a line out. Mine has a jack out and it does have a toggle for line and phono, so I have it on line mode. I will link the record player I use below. It's made by Audio Technica and I've been pretty happy with it, and I did do a full review on this channel a little while ago. The second thing you're going to need is a small USB interface. That's because the Raspberry Pi doesn't have a built-in audio interface. Now the best one I found for this is the Behringer UCA202. That's because it's £30 and it's plug and play. And then thirdly, you are going to need a Raspberry Pi 5. A 5 is probably best, and you are going to need Raspbian set up. I have also tested this on Ubuntu, but for this video I'm mostly talking about using it on Raspberry Pi OS. That was formerly known as Raspbian, and I still call it that every so often. And for best performance, you want to make sure that Pi is connected to your home network via Ethernet. You'll also want to assign it a fixed IP address in your router settings. That's because otherwise you're going to constantly have to look up what IP it's on when you go to it on your phone for the web interface. The same goes for your automations in Home Assistant. It's much easier if it's static. I will put a link below to all the equipment you'll need, but it will bring your total outlay for this product to about £130. Of course, you can do all sorts of other things with the Raspberry Pi as well. So let's talk about how you get everything working. So once you have Raspberry Pi OS on your Pi and the Behringer device plugged in, you'll need to head to the GitHub link I'll put below. You're then going to need to download my code. Then unzip it and pop it in a folder somewhere on the Raspberry Pi. Inside that folder, you're going to find a README file which you can also read on the GitHub link. That gives you all of the instructions you need to get up and running, including to make sure it runs when your Raspberry Pi starts up. As part of that, you'll make sure the Raspberry Pi is up to date, and also make sure you've got the right version of Python. I've been using it with Python 3.9. As I said, for it to load on startup, you're also going to need to set up a service, and there's some boilerplate and instructions on how to do that as well. That means if your Raspberry Pi reboots or power goes off and it comes back on again, it's always ready for action. Now the code I've got on my GitHub is boilerplate. That means you will have to change some things for your own setup. for example where your home folder is. If you do get stuck, stick a question below and I'll try and help you out. Once you are set up, you want to go to a web browser, pop in the IP address of your Pi and then :5050. That means it runs on port 5050. If you're using Safari, I find you do need to make sure you put http:// and make sure it doesn't autofill with the HTTPS. You'll then see the web interface, and at the top of it, you'll see the USB devices that are connected to your Pi that can stream audio, and in the background, it will be scanning your network for different devices that can support AirPlay. To stream to one of those devices, you'll just need to tap one of them. Most Apple AirPlay devices don't need a pairing code, only Apple TVs. That's why that's the one that will say about pairing. The stream will then start and you'll see that in the status of the app, and then you'll be able to start playing your record. There's also a nice volume adjustment in here, and for HomePod minis I tend to find about 50% is about right. You can tweak that default in the code if you want to, especially if you've got something like a proper HomePod, because that might be a lot louder. But once up and running, it all works really well and it's all nice and simple. But what about when I was talking about how to get my record player to automatically stream to my HomePod via Home Assistant or a Siri shortcut? So as I said, my record player has a contact sensor on it. When contact is broken, it switches on the power to my record player. You can set that automation up really easy, either in Apple Home or Home Assistant. And because this Pi streamer has an API built in, we can also take advantage and work it into that as well. So the first thing you're going to need to do is get the ID of the speaker you want it to auto-connect to. You do that by going to the browser version of the interface and putting in /API/status. Each of your speakers on your network will have an ID, so you want to grab that and copy that. If you're going down the Home Assistant route, you'll then want to head into Home Assistant, into File Editor and into configuration.yaml. Now what we're going to do here, and again this is in the documentation, is create a REST command we can call from an automation. You can name it whatever you like. You then want to put in the URL of your Raspberry Pi server with /API/stream/start. You're going to want to set the method to post. You want to make sure the content type includes what you see on screen, and then you're going to need to make sure the payload includes the following. So firstly, input device is what appears on the drop down at the top on your Raspberry Pi screen. You just want to use that ID. And then speakers is an array of the speakers you want to send it to. So you could send it to multiple speakers at once if you wanted to. For the sake of this one, we've just got one in speech marks. If you want to add another one, after that closing speech mark, you'd put a comma, another set of speech marks and pop the ID in between there. All of that within those square brackets. Once you've done that, you want to save and restart Home Assistant. It needs to be a proper start, not just a YAML refresh. You then go into your automation, and as part of your automation that maybe turns on your power or detects when contact is broken, you're going to want to add in a perform action. And in my case, you're going to run the Turntable Living Room API call. Of course, that'll vary depending on what you called it. And that's it. For me, that means that speaker will pair as soon as I open my record player. Now, if you want to do that in a Siri shortcut, you'd have an automation that says when contact is broken. And then for the devices, you're going to want to convert that to a Siri shortcut. In that Siri shortcut, you're going to use the shortcut get contents of URL. It's worth saying before I get into the weeds with this, you can also set it up as a completely separate Siri shortcut. So I've got one that I can quickly use to fling audio to my kitchen. You basically set all of the different parameters exactly the same as we just have done for Raspberry Pi, but in the Siri shortcut. And there are instructions on my GitHub page on how to do that as well. And that's it. That is how I've got my record player streaming to my HomePod minis around the house. It means I don't have to be in the same room as my record player if I'm listening to music, but it also means I can still listen to my records wherever I am. In testing it out for a couple of weeks, I found it's generally pretty reliable and the stream is pretty decent. All the links, including the equipment I've talked about, are linked below, and if you have any issues with it, let me know and I'll try and help you out. If you found this video helpful, there's also a link below where you can buy me a coffee or a beer. This isn't my full-time job, and so if you found any of this helpful, then I'm really grateful if you want to say thanks in any way you like. That sounded slightly ruder than I meant it to. I'll see you guys again soon.